Minasan konnichiwa, this is Matt Okuhara from the Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps, and in this upload we're going to look at basic training. During the feudal era of Japanese history, the samurai military was largely militia-based. This meant that the vast majority of soldiers were either farmers, merchants or artisans, and the samurai made up the smaller percentage of the warriors on the battlefield. With so few professional soldiers, the samurai that were responsible for training the militias had to teach them to do more than just fight. They needed to know how to patrol, how to secure areas, how to carry out inspections, and what to do when they were on guard duty, for example. However, because they were drawn from various different professions, it meant that there were soldiers available to carry out other tasks, such as carpentry and farming. The Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps is also drawn from various different professions in and around the prefecture of Nagano. But as a display team, our training solely focuses on gunnery. Hōjutsu, which is the way of the gun, is one of the oldest martial arts still practiced in Japan. It can trace its history back to 1543, when the daimyo, Tanegashima Tokitaka, acquired 2 matchlock guns from some Portuguese adventurers. Along with developing the ability to reproduce these guns, they also started to develop firearms tactics, some of which we still practice today. One of the largest engagements that the Matsumoto domain took part in was the Mito Rebellion. The tactics and skills used by the samurai gunners during this engagement are what we practice today in the Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps. But many of the team also practice other martial arts. Owing to the harsh winters and hot summers, our gunnery season is quite short. So many of the team take up other traditional Japanese arts, such as iaido. Some members practice kendo and others aikido. This means that when the gunnery season starts, we are already in a good frame of mind to get started. The season starts with the checking of the weapons. Each gunner has their own firearm, and it is their responsibility to ensure that it is in safe working condition. This is one of the first skills that are taught to a new gunner. When someone joins the Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps, they are expected to take part in group cleaning activities. They are expected to help maintain the condition of the guns at Matsumoto Castle, a vast collection known as the Akahane collection, one of the largest in Japan. Not only does this help preserve precious artifacts, but it also provides valuable experience in weapon maintenance to the gunner. With the team assembled, it is also a good opportunity to review some of the gunnery scrolls that we own, scrolls that were written during the feudal era of Japanese history. The details in these documents provide the information and the basis for everything that we do. Whilst all of the weapons we maintain and use are antiques, the armour and uniforms that we wear are custom made. Being produced before 1874, the firearms that we use are designated as having special cultural significance in law. The same cannot be said for our armour, which is made by a company which provides sets of armour for movies and dramas in Japan. However, we treat these sets with the same respect and dignity as we do our swords and guns. This is all part of the way of the warrior. More than simply reenactment, what we are trying to achieve with the Matsumoto Castle Gun Corps is a preservation of history. We are trying to preserve one of Japan's oldest martial arts. And we are trying to preserve some of Japan's artifacts, the guns that we use. Our main shooting venue is at Matsumoto Castle. Completed in 1593, this castle was designed with gunnery in mind. For much of its history, Matsumoto Castle came under the control of the Matsudaira clan. However, during the Sengoku Jidai and before the completion of Matsumoto Castle, the Ogasawara clan ran the domain. Throughout the domain's history, the various daimyo remained loyal to the shogunate, and in many cases they deployed their troops in order to support the shogun in conflicts around Japan. In 1864, the Matsumoto domain sent troops to assist the 50,000 that had been sent to the Kinmon incident in order to quell the rebellion. In retaliation of this incident, troops from the Matsumoto domain were sent to the Choshu domain. This subsequent action was designed to enforce political change on the Choshu. It was also designed to show the military might of the shogunate. However, by this time, modern Western weapons had arrived in Japan and the expedition ended in disaster. Closely allied to the Matsumoto domain was the Suwa domain, Takashima Castle being the seat of the Suwa clan. In 1864 and 1865, the Matsumoto domain and Suwa domain put together a huge force in order to support the shogunate during the Mito rebellion. Towards the end of the rebellion, the joint Matsumoto and Suwa force took on the Shinshiro domain in the Battle of the Wada Valley. Even though this was 1865 and more modern firearms had found their way into Japan, both forces deployed vast numbers of matchlock troops in order to gain an advantage. A lot of what happened on the battlefield was recorded by scholars, and after the gun smoke had cleared, the joint Suwa and Matsumoto force had all but wiped out the Shinshiro. Our research and study of the Matsumoto and Suwa domains is a key part of what we do and a firm part of our basic training. Rather than lose these conflicts to history, we try to generate an understanding of what it meant to be a gunner, samurai or ashigaru during the Edo era. Because of this, we are fortunate to take part in other demonstrations all around Japan. So if you're interested in Japanese gunnery, then please don't forget to like and subscribe and to find us at gunsamurai.com.